And welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Strategic Command World War I, the Cold Arms campaign, as the Entente Powers. This is probably going to be the last part of the second stream. I think, well, what I'll try to do is, with editing, I'll try to add game music into the bits in the last couple parts where we didn't have any game audio. But obviously there won't be any explosions. Let's see what we can do to keep the Central Powers on the back foot here. Austro-Hungarian warship sent to the bottom. EU in port to recover. Even that port to recover there. Okay, so there are mines there. They put the mines back in. Because of course they did. So let's not just sail a submarine straight into the mines again. That is one way to get rid of the mines, but we're not that desperate to get rid of the mines. Supply situation has declined to 0 in Baghdad. And yeah, that means it is now time to take the city. There we go. Baghdad has fallen. That'll lower Ottoman national morale even more. No, I think I need to get rid of the cores first. So I'm going to shell this core up. What is the rate that I get shells back as the British? I get 1 shell a turn. Okay, I should probably fix that. Okay, that's 1 Ottoman core destroyed. Destroy the other one and then take the port. We'll have another commander down here, which will be nice. Okay, we'll blockade that Ottoman port for a bit. The sub. Getting the battle cruiser to do some work. Serbian front, unless we're being really presented with easy targets, probably not going to attack on. Yeah. Okay, they tie up a little more Austro-Hungarians. I am going to take a little bit... Oh no, that's a 4 cost. Not enough action points to make that worthwhile. Okay, so if I advance... I think a lot of places we're not going to be able to put trenches in. Although, maybe I'm wrong. Let's get you up, trench in. Yeah. So 4 action points, we won't have any left, so if they scoot up, they won't be able to retrench. So we'll leave them where they are. Probably swap the Albanian corps out for the Montenegro detachment here. Preparation for trying to attack the end of the line. Okay. We want to retake Verdun. The sooner we take it, the easier it is going to be to retake it, I suspect. Oh, I should probably have sent the recon bomber in first. This is probably due to the poor weather. Do I take the swings anyway? We'll take the 1-1, see if that helps. And up to the 1-1. Okay, take another 1-1. It's a no on you. That's reinforce, not upgrade. We can upgrade British units at this point, so let's do that. Can the French upgrade? Yes, the French finally can upgrade. That's what they're going to do while they're waiting for the weather to improve so they can actually attack Verdun Fortress. We're going to get enough shells that we're going to be able to hit it again. Yeah. I'm surprised it's already showing it as towards Murmansk. dies from attack again. Okay, not sure where they got off to, but I think they're around here somewhere. Yeah, not where that one that dove went to. Went somewhere. Where that somewhere is going to be an eternal question. Okay. I think that's all the advancing we're doing for the moment. You need more shells. Here we probably just need to recover if we can. It's maybe an argument for attacking them, but... Oh, we're getting 0-1s. We'll definitely take 0-1s. And then in the future we'll have a bunch of shells we can dump into them, which will lower their entrenchment so we can take more off of them. We did the primary supply, so other than encircling it, we can't stop it from receiving supplies. Yeah, so we're just about to have another national morale hit for the Ottomans. And we're starting to unhinge them. So they may collapse if everything goes according to plan. $9,000 left. So they're at 41%, 9,000. I don't know how much Baghdad is worth. And that's the one they're about to get hit with. And obviously, I suspect Jerusalem's at least worth 1,000. So yeah, they're not necessarily long for this war. If we knock them out, that'll definitely help a lot. Oh, that guy was going to want healing. Heal there. Get you to dig in. Yeah, we're definitely... The weather holds and the artillery arrives and does everything the artillery needs. Maybe when they attack soon as the Russians. Yeah, the British are going to want to pick up gas shell and infantry warfare. Might actually want gas shell on the Serbians as well. Get that one artillery piece actually shooting fast. The Russians probably have replacements they need. Yeah, let's start replacing that one. Americans can't quite invest... Well, they wouldn't be able to even if they wanted to invest in Industry 5, because Industry 5 requires you to have Industry 2 completed before you can invest in it. Although we probably will be able to do the investment just after we get 2, so that looks like that's going to be good. America's up to 21% mobilization, so... If the unrestricted warfare, naval warfare continues, that'll be good. Okay, I don't like that we didn't break into Verdun, but it is what it is. How many shells do we get as the French? 2 right now. Wasn't really expecting that to do anything, but we were going to waste that shell either way, so might as well take the shot. Yeah, until I think I'm moving against that guy. Keeping it up here around Belgrade where it's better defensive battery is good. There's maybe a question whether or not we advance from Baghdad, or if we just hold there. Could pull the HQ, for example, to help out elsewhere. We'll see if the Ottomans even try to come down this way. We'll see. Okay, let's cycle the turn. Let's see how the Central Powers are responding. Loss of grain leads to more hunger. German morale is boosted by the unrestricted warfare. Loss of Baghdad hurts the Ottoman national morale. Atop Libya, liberate Mesopotamia. Commander-in-Chief, a plan has been put forward to land friendly Turkish-speaking Greeks and Armenians on the Ottoman coast, east of Constantinople. From there, they will carry out guerrilla warfare to sabotage production at the mine works. Trying to equip the men will cost us 50 MPP. Yes. We've definitely been on the receiving end of that in the Central Powers run. Anzac Corps arrives. U-boats deploy for service at Pola. More Arabs are rising. So I think that's all the Arabs are going to get until we take Medina. Entente naval units north of Scotland blockade imports to Germany. Entente naval units blockade imports to Germany in the North Sea. German socialists opposed to the war form the Spartacus League. UK develops trench warfare level 4. France develops the ground attack weapons level 1. Almost got command and control as the French. We'll definitely get it next turn. And infantry warfare is now level 2. This is warfare, not weapons, for the French. Armored warfare is level 1. We need 2 to build the first armored corps. Russia develops industry tech level 2. The USA is collecting 60 MPP. Enemy contact. Sub hits the cruiser. Interceptors go up. Ooh, we lost the Serbian core. Although the Serbian core is easier to get back into position if we lose it, so that's not too bad. Okay, the subs that can move are moving. there's the grain loss, causing more hunger. German morale is boosted by the use of unrestricted naval warfare. Foreign Minister reports diplomatic success. Netherlands to the Central Powers, 6%. Entente naval units north of Scotland blockade imports to Germany and in the North Sea. Philosopher Ludwig Wittgenstein is posted to serve on the Eastern Front. German forces surrender in Cameroon. German Socialist Party expels 18 MPs for voting against the war. Fighting breaks out when Pancho Villa raids U.S. territory. Second Corps destroyed. Okay. Secretary of State for War, Lord Kitchener. So far, only small units of Australian cavalry have seen action as part of the Anzac Corps. They've shown themselves to fight very well and are proposed to expand these units to larger formations in Egypt. Forming this Australian light horse unit will cost us 200 MPPs at 50 PPs a turn for 4 turns. Would you like to authorize the formation of this unit? We'll agree to that, yeah. It's not a particularly good discount on getting a cavalry unit, but it's not a completely terrible one. The Grenadier Corps has the Russians. And the weather is annoyingly not conducive to offensives. Although, at least down here, that's fine. We're not ready for it. We will be next turn. Will be next turn. There's presumably a garrison in Medina, yeah. Unlike me, the Ottomans in this run have not pulled the garrison out of Medina. I don't have the supplies, apparently, did the reinforcing more. Okay. And we need to save up more. We need to save up more cells. Shells. To destroy these units. We're getting 1 to 3 before we start shelling, so... Whoop. Found the Ottoman unit. Okay, I could try to pull these units out of theater, but at least the mountain men, or the mountain cores, are going to be pretty effective up here in all these mountains. And trying to encourage the Ottomans to lose quicker is also somewhat beneficial. Okay, so I think that's what we're going to be able to do on the Eastern Front. Yeah, I'm thinking waiting at least one more turn. We get a few more upgrades before we start the attack up here. Also, hopefully get a bit better water. Yeah, better weather. Because we don't have particularly good weather for attacking right now. Okay, that's not much behind them. Oops, no. What do I want to spend the Serbian stuff on? Could technically go for another HQ, but I don't think that's super valuable for them. Because their army's so small, they actually get discounts on command and infantry. And production. Could save up for the next artillery. Yeah, let's save up for the next artillery. We're gonna want these guys reinforcing. Okay, so escape to port. But otherwise a decent exchange. Found another one of their subs. It almost feels like they got more subs other than warships. Well, other warships. I know from experience they're going to have hard difficulty reinforcing there, so I think that's where. Get those fighters to be even better. How much is it improved sieging there? Got enough shells, we can de-entrench. Pretty much de-entrench the Verdun fortress. So let's try that again. So we've retaken Verdun Fortress. So we should get a national morale buff for doing that, as the French. Oh, none of my units can actually get in there. So, we just blew up a German unit and aren't able to really capitalize on it. Although that just means another Germany will take the position, and then we'll shell it, and rinse and repeat. So we can figure out how to get into that hex. Here's the sub. Okay, it's a little annoying where it is, because it's currently preventing me from shipping out troops. That moment when the AI suddenly has a very brilliant plan. That's something that's arrived at by sheer dumb luck. Okay, you really need to go to port. You're in strike range. You're going to strike a different one, but good enough. Submarine dives from attack. What about the other carrier? Oh, there's the other one. Okay, let's get these guys across. Well, I know there's a safe path across for them. Well, get that one across. Could move it towards the other port and sit out the other way. That's actually probably more exposed, but... Suppose if we're stuck in port, we can just shell the submarine. Wasn't expecting that actually to do any damage to the submarine, but it did. Okay, so we're definitely attriting forces. The question is it a good ratio for the attrition or not? And that I am not skilled enough at this game to know 100%. Baghdad went well. That section of the Ottoman Empire went well. Move you down there. I may try some landing in the Damascus region. Use the ports over there. We'll see. That's why I've got the carrier out. We're going to see the carrier do some reconnaissance over there, see if those ports are exposed. Okay, does Russia have things it needs to replace first? No, we still have everything that we've built as Russia. Either built or in the process of being replaced. Except for the ships, of course. Research-wise... Okay, America can't pick up industry tech yet. Although we're definitely at the point with all the research industry tech's invested that it's time for America to start contributing more convoy. There we go. Another 45 MPP to the UK. The UK... Because we're having such a problem with all the subs, I'm going to stop sending to Russia. So there's less to raid. And we can put that into building sub defenses. Safer for next to artillery. Also safer for infantry weapons, I suppose. You're spent. You've got a lot to spend. And you actually have the potential to spend some this turn, so that's good. Grab the next armored warfare. Next infantry warfare. Next infantry weapons. And you can spend another 100 exactly as France right now. So let's grab the last infantry warfare. I'm going to grab all the anti-sub if I can, because the subs are starting to get annoying. I'm going to invest in more infantry warfare and more command and control. Oh, desperate am I to get more shells as Russia? Got the 3rd artillery piece in the production queue, right? Oh, no, they... Well, yes, it's done. We haven't pulled this one back yet. So we've got the 2 on the western and the... Well, I suppose it is west to Russia. The eastern front. They're about to start opening fire. Can't grab mountain cores, so I've got all they can. Don't need one of other ships. Got the fighters, the bombers. We don't have the tech yet for the ground attack aircraft. So yeah, I think it's research as the Russians. Okay, we'll finish the investment in Russian industry. Grab both the aerial warfare. Let's start a ground attack. Okay. And then let's see how the Central Powers handles the evolving situation. We're not doing a lot. We didn't do a lot of attacking that turn because the rain is a little bit of an issue. Although, Western Front, apparently, the French are just desperate enough that they're taking it anyway. More hunger. Central Powers disrupt the India-UK convoy. Blockade ports in Germany in both locations. Just short of the airship development. Got anti-sub 1. We'll still have to cycle everything in to apply it, but... UK develops logistics level 4. Okay. Command and control level 2. Trench warfare level 3 for the Italians. Logistics 2. Industry 2 as the Americans. They're now sending 45 to the UK, so they're only getting 23 each. But they'll have enough to pick up the next industry tech. They really don't like that cruiser. Don't know what that explosion was from. Although they presumably have their own mines, so maybe they ran into their own mines. Okay. Loss of grain from Galicia leads to hunger in Austria-Hungary. German morale is boosted by the use of unrestricted naval warfare. USA protests the use of unrestricted naval warfare. Entente naval units north of Scotland blockade imports to Germany and in the North Sea. Agatha Christie works on her first Poirot novel, The Mysterious Affair at Styles. Belgrade damage from bombing. Okay. We're probably a good place to put a part break in. Fourth part recorded today. Yeah, fourth part recorded today. So we're going to pick up where we left off next time in the next stream. Before we go ahead and bring this part to an end, let's review some of the reports. So where are we? Comparison and losses. Germany has 35% of all losses, Austria-Hungary another 20%, and the Ottomans 12%. So collectively, that puts them at 37% of all losses. Means 33% is the Entente, of which a third of is made from Russia, 2% from Serbia, 1% from Italy, 12% from France, and 6% from Ukraine, or not Ukraine, UK. And then here's the detailed loss figures. So yeah, we've got 21 German cores destroyed, and they're the only one who've actually entered into the double digits for losses from a single type. Although the French and the Austro-Hungarians are getting pretty close as well. Graph-wise, national morale. The British are staying above 90, although they won't stay above it for much longer at this rate. The French are at 89%. The retaking of Verdun, you can see, has given us a lot of it back, although we're still below 90, and we're unlikely to get above 90 from this point on. The Italians are below 90 at 89%. The Serbians are actually quite happy at 102%. The Russians are at 79%. The Americans haven't entered the war yet. The Germans are at 78%. The Austro-Hungarians are at 68%, or 65%, sorry. That should mean they're taking both, well, 2 of 3 national morale hits to unit morale. Next one's at 50%. And the Ottomans should be taking that second one. The Ottomans are actually very rapidly approaching the point where they will surrender. Of course, we've kept Serbia in the game. So the Ottomans are receiving no convoys. They have been shipping to the Austro-Hungarians, although still less than 100, or 1,000. So we've shipped a lot more to the UK, and to France, and to Italy, and Serbia, and the Russians. I suppose I haven't been raiding, so this is the only raider damage on the subs. Oh, actually, the Austrians are doing some surface raiding. Yeah, so I think their convoy raiding has been more effective than the damage we've done to the raiders. Yeah. No, actually, we haven't lost that much in the activity. Like 340. And they've taken more damage than that. Oh, no, I'm forgetting that 280. That's about the damage they've taken at this point. Okay, so it's a bit of a wash. Probably wasn't worth their efforts. If anything, they've probably done more damage to the destroyers than to the shipping. Research. been quite a bit as France and Russia. Austria-Hungary's gone up quite a bit as well. Might be out researching us. Obviously, only Germany has plunder. Loss ratio. We're definitely collecting more than we're losing, which is good. Collecting more than we're losing. Even the Italians, which have been had a bad day, have been collecting more than they're losing. Oh, it's pretty close on the Russians. That might be why we're slowly getting pushed with the Russians. And they've been losing more than they're gaining, so they're weakening. And actually, in theory, the Ottomans haven't necessarily been weakening, but they've been losing their national objectives is what's been going on. So that's the state of the national morale. I don't necessarily know the point of relative values on this. So apparently we had a glitch at some point and someone got up to like 200%. But, okay. Yeah, that's the state of the reports. Diplomacy-wise, we haven't really been engaging in diplomacy. We engaged a little bit with Norway. Well, I say a little bit. We did a 5 chit investment, and only one of them's actually spent at this point, as the French. So over time, those are going to get invested, and we'll get the chits back, and we can spend them somewhere else. Although you can see the benefit there. That's pushed them pro Entente, which has national morale dinked the Germans. The other ones to do that too are Sweden, which won't be very easy, and the Netherlands. In fact, they're invested in the Netherlands, so if they're not careful, they'll start the Netherlands mobilizing, which is just as bad for them as us pushing them to pro Entente. And it opens up a big front where they're going to be exposed. So they probably overinvested in the Netherlands. Bulgaria is up to 75%. Bulgaria is actually closer to joining the war than I was expecting in comparison to Romania. Although we are prepared for if they do that. If they join the war, we've already got troops prepared to go slamming into them and the Ottomans. And they start with a decent number of troops. But they're not perfect. And they're definitely not well prepared for our units coming out of Greece. Right, we can run up the road, run east. The Ottomans are already starting to suffer. Oh, one thing I haven't checked. We've liberated Mesopotamia. Do we get to purchase Mesopotamian units? No. No. So it's just, we've just put a flag here in Baghdad. We might get units if we liberate, might be good to train units if we liberate Medina. But we're not there yet. And yeah, this is where we're going to put the heartbreak in. If you're watching on YouTube, there'll probably be another part up for you tomorrow. It depends upon how long... well, it depends if we have any issues that delay the next stream, I suppose. Let's delay the next ad for Twitch. So today is Thursday, and we've just done Strategic Command. Tomorrow will be Victoria 3. We're going to probably start up a run as USA, assuming nothing has broken Victoria 3 by then. That'll be tomorrow. Day after that will be Shadow Empire. Day after that will be Terra Invicta. I think we're going to try out the Protocol Cannon on Sunday. And then Monday, we're going to finish up... Well, not finish... Well, maybe finish up. I don't know how quick we're going to get through the game at this point. But we'll be back to Strategic Command on Monday. Again, our primary objective is to get the Germans to surrender. The Germans are at 78%, so they're quite a decent way out from surrender. So I can bring up the actual victory objectives here, right? We're playing as the Entente, so the major victory for them is to get the Germans to surrender. Either by occupying all their capitals or getting their national morale 1%. Sort of by default at the beginning of the game, the Entente holds the minor victory. So we control London, Paris, Verdun, and Cairo. We did temporarily there for a moment lose Verdun. We've taken it back. And there's a decent likelihood that everything goes according to plan. We're not going to lose it again. Although we could lose again. But yeah, the main objective is defeat Germany. We got quite a way to go with Germany, right? They're at 78%, which if we were looking at the tooltip, it was like 78% of like 50,000. Their allies, on the other hand, are beginning to wane. Austria-Hungary's down to 65%. The Ottomans are down to 29%. Both of these guys, when they surrender, apply pretty strong national balances to Germany. So basically the plan is we're going to get the Ottomans to surrender. Once that's done, we'll probably pull the troops out of the Ottoman Empire. So the artillery will be nice. The HQs... I might deploy the British troops to Serbia, and we'll start pushing up out of Serbia. There doesn't appear to be any national morale objectives for Austria-Hungary in near Serbia, until you realize if you're pushing out of Serbia, Austro-Hungarian port, and all these ports are where the entire Austro-Hungarian navy is, and we've got them bottled up in the Adriatic. So if we can force them out of port or sink them in port, that's just national morale hits all the way up. More artillery may allow us to start pushing out of Italy. Trieste has national morale. Bruneck is national morale. I'm not even going to try pronouncing that as national morale. Trieste is national morale. Porta. Apolla is national morale. So all of those are big hits. If the Russians get their stuff together, we're going to start pushing in the southeast here. And these are national morale hits for the Austrians. Plus, these will push Romania into joining. And something that hasn't been brought up, national morale-wise, as far as this run is concerned, is we're playing a hunger effect with Galicia. If Romania is in the war, they also apply a hunger effect. Because right now, even though the Romania is not hostile, they are not friendly, but they're still feeding the Austro-Hungarians. So if they join the war, that food stops. Right. So that'll make the Austro-Hungarians lose support real fast. Can we get the tooltip? There's the tooltip. So you can see there's only 20,000 remaining Austro-Hungarian national morale. So they'll get dinged from the Ottomans, I think, losing the war. I forget what all these are priced, but right, if you're thinking that's like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Some of them are probably worth more than 1,000. Plus all the troops will destroy on the path. Right. That'll probably undermine the Austro-Hungarians. There are German national morales in the east. Königsberg, Danzig, Gradenus. Remberg and Thorn. Where's Posen? Basically, if we can push east and west, the Germans will start to give up. If we start actually pushing the Germany proper. But yeah, I think we're making progress. If you're watching YouTube, there will be a part up tomorrow. If you're watching on Twitch, this is where we're going to bring the stream to an end. I've done a discussion of what will be the streams over the next couple days, so I hope you've all been enjoying. If you're watching on Twitch and you've got any comments, feel free to let me know. This is probably your last time to get them responded to during the stream. If you're watching later, because the VODs do stay up 14 days, and you want a comment responded to later, feel free to let me know. YouTube's probably the best place to leave those, as it does support asynchronous commenting. And with that, I'm going to wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part and/or stream, and bye for now.